Machine now features destructive sample editing. This is a great feature if you like to do a lot of editing to your samples and you don't want to have to use an external sample editor. All you need to do is go into sampling mode on Machine, and you'll find the new features on the Edit tab. From here, if you notice in the right display, you'll see a button called Audio, and now all of the different editing features now become available. I have functions such as truncate, normalize, reverse, fade in and out, fixed DC offset, silence, cut, copy, and paste. There's also the ability to duplicate a certain portion of the waveform if you'd like to cut out a certain piece and then paste it end to end. We've also made it much easier to get to just the part of the waveform you're interested in via advanced zooming and scrolling features. If you'd like to zoom in on the waveform, you can use the first knob on the right display. This will zoom in and out. The knob directly to the right will allow you to actually scroll through the waveform. So after you've zoomed in, you can then pinpoint exactly the part you're looking for. One of the biggest improvements to Machine's capabilities involves its slicing. I'm going to spend a few moments showing you some of the new features. I'm going to press the sampling button on the Machine hardware. Now I have here a loop. And I'd like to slice that up. I'll begin by going to the Slice tab. Now right away, you'll see that Machine has created for me a series of slices on the right-hand LCD. And you now have the ability to preview each of these individual slices. If I just play a few notes on the Machine hardware, you can see that it will instantly preview whichever slice I've selected. This is really useful so that you can make sure that you're about to do an edit to exactly the slice that you had in mind. You'll also notice that there's a new slicing mode called Split. What Split does is it takes a loop and breaks it up into an equidistant number of pieces. In this case, I've selected 16. That means that each one of these individual slices will show up on its own pad on the Machine hardware. Of course, you still have the other modes, such as Grid and Detect. I'd actually like to show you something in Detect mode. Detect will go through and automatically attempt to determine where each individual transient is inside this loop. But sometimes you might have a loop that has some tricky transients, or you might want to make some adjustments to individual slice points. In Machine 1.5 you can do that. It's very simple. You just select the slice that you're interested in and press the Edit button. Now what I can do on the left display is manually adjust the start and end points for that particular slice. You might want to zoom in to get a little finer detail. And I'll just change the endpoint slightly, like so. Of course, I can do that to any of the slices in the manual detect mode. If I decide that there's a slice that's been detected and I'd like to remove it altogether, I can do that too. I have a remove button here. Pressing that will actually remove that entire slice from the loop. And now you can feel free to make adjustments to any of the other slices and continue. Machine now gives you the option to import Rex files. You do this by going to the Disk tab in the browser and selecting the corresponding Rex file. You can either drag and drop it onto the intended group or just double-click it to import it to the selected group. It will also create a sequence that will automatically play the individual slices.